before we start talking about who is Victor, what is Victor? What the hell is Victor? So he is a Securitron, and Securitrons are heavy robots with a little wheel at the bottom, top heavy. They're made by Robco and H&H Tools. They have a 9mm machine gun, have a Gatling laser, and a rocket launcher, and two of them, Victor and another one which is a bunch of numbers, 011110 or something. They both can do melee attacks, but they're the only ones, which is pretty cool. They are basically a private army for Mr. House, all linked up together, all patrolling the New Vegas Strip. Pretty much that, just there to guard. Some have personalities, Victor included, but you've got his girls, Jane and Marilyn, who are basically his sex robots, which is nice, / servants. I think it's meant to be Marilyn Monroe and Jade Austen. These Securitrons have a little printer on their little chest. Not really sure what for, but probably to give out tickets and advertisement. These are all the Mark 1s. Mr. House planned to make the Mark 2s with the platinum chips, which are going to have better integration and be all over a better robot. And you have the best Securitron in the game, Muggy. If you've played the Old World Blues, you'll know who Muggy is. He's the miniature Securitron who's obsessed with mugs. Sweet dialogue, cool dude, probably the best Securitron in the game. He still has the little printer on his chest, so I don't know what he's printing because there must be, leaflets for ants. Securitrons are known for their tough policing and powerful weapons. Second most powerful robot in the whole of the game. I think the Sentry bots overtake this because they're so aggressive and ridiculous. Now you have a rough idea what Securitrons are. What makes Victor any special? What makes him different? Well, he has his own special stats. He's got strength of 8, perception of 9, endurance of 6, charisma of 3, intelligence of 8, agility 5, luck 4. I don't know why they gave him such low charisma. That should have been a little bit higher. Luck should have been lower, because he's not very lucky. Every time I've had him around, he either glitches or dies. Key details about Victor. Strong, mate. Bloody strong. I found out trying to kill him on any setting above medium, pretty difficult. Always kills me back. Some really good combat abilities. He's the only one who can do a melee attack. Well, there's one other Securitron who can do that. He's pretty level-headed. He won't flip out and attack unless you shoot him first. When you point a gun to his head, he lets off loads of warnings. If the platinum chip's used to upgrade Securitrons, Victor gains the Mark II upgrade, which gives him upgrade weapons, upgrade missile launcher, and an auto repair system. Meals on meals, mate. One key aspect about Victor is, if he's destroyed in any way, his personality transfers to a nearby Securitron unit. It's basically invincible. As long as there's a shell to go into, he takes over. However, if you kill him yourself, he does disappear, which is fair. Because there's only so many times you have to kill the same robot. So where'd you find this little snake? Well, he can appear in a variety of locations. Good Springs, Novak, Boulder City, Lucky 38, and the Fallout TV show at the House Resort. Yeah, we'll cover this at the end. Law's law, baby. So do we trust him? Do we actually trust Victor? Nah, mate, he's a snake. Episode over. Right, let's get into his background first so we can work out if he's devious or not. He was effectively scouting for House. Victor remained active after the Great War. He was eventually sent to the remote town of Good Springs by his own account, allegedly. Victor has lived in the town since 2266. He claims not to recall anything before that time. This would be because he had some dodgy programming, which means he can't actually understand while he's there. He's just following orders from Mr. House. Victor was among the first wave of scouts sent by Robert House into the wastelands. He was looking for signs of post-apocalypse life. This is all before the arrival of the new California Republic to the Hoover Dam. This is way before Mr. House does a factory reset and starts to take control of the strip by basically controlling the 3 major families. According to Trudy and the other town's residents, Victor's been alright. He doesn't really help, but he doesn't really interfere with anything. I think they just like having him around as he's quite capable in combat, and it might put off potentially wasteland creatures or other raiders or gangs coming in If they see a robot just wheeling around the outside, they think twice. Victor used to live in the house on the shack. This is the one with the flag outside near the schoolhouse. You can actually, I used that as my main house for most of Fallout. Nothing actually, you can store stuff in there, it didn't disappear. Unfortunately, on each playthrough, I either kill him or power him down and steal his house. It's just a wasteland way of life, isn't it? No one actually remembers who lived in that house before Victor, because it would have been way before any of those lads in town were alive. Judy was the first, and I think she's actually quite suspicious of Victor's cheerful cowboy personality, thinking he hides something deeper. But it also could be he was just programmed that way, so he's not allowed to get too attached to the town folks, and he treats everyone friendly, but he also treats them for mild neglect and goes about his business. Victor was actually in charge of getting a platinum chip delivered. He found this chip actually in the ruins of Sunnyvale. Originally, the platinum chip was supposed to be delivered to Mr. House, but the bombs dropped a day earlier. So that's why he hasn't gotten his being. So he knew they were somewhere in the wasteland, he just wasn't sure where. So Victor was sent out to go collect it. I don't know why he didn't take it himself, absolute mad lad. Instead, he went to the Mojave Express, an outpost run in Prim by Jonathan Johnson Nash. He hired 7 couriers with 6 decoys. Only one contained a real platinum chip, which was given to courier 6, which is you. The original candidate refused the job. Lucky of him, because he'd be the one with the bullet in his head. This is when Benny came up with his devious plan. He thought, well, I'm going to hijack one of Securitrons. He did. He used an EMP on a robot, got in there, messed around with wires a little bit, then you got popped out Yes Man, which is kind of like Mr. House, but not. He's effectively a AI version of a Securitron, which he can make his own thought processes. I'm not going to go into him today too much. This is all about Victor, baby. This is about Victor. So Benny, devious. So Benny teamed up with the Great Khans, ambushed a courier, smashed him up, shot him in the head, buried him in Good Spring Cemetery. Quite a nice place to put him, to be honest. Stole a platinum ship, went about his business. Victor, at this point, didn't do anything. He did not do anything. He witnesses from afar, but due to his programming and unreliable data, he actually couldn't interfere. Because of his combat algorithms, he just kind of glitched out and stayed where he was. After the altercation, Victor wheeled over there like the little snake he is, dug him out of his shallow grave, sent him to Doc Mitchell, said, here's your problem now, mate. Bit savage. Other interactions that you have with Victor, he avoids you if you do the quest on saving Good Springs. Everyone agrees to join the fight, apart from him. He sits on the outside and he doesn't join the battle. If you speak to him afterwards, he says, oh, I had a reprogramming error and I wasn't allowed to fight. Doesn't really understand why, but basically he was hacked by Mr. House and wouldn't join in the battle. Kind of useless, because he would be pretty good in that fight, wouldn't he? He does actually help you at one point in the game. If you just walk up out of Good Springs, you're a little bit dumb, don't know where you're going, you meet the cazadors, he will show up and start shooting for you. Then he'll give you a warning about the creatures out there. In one of my playthroughs, he's actually helped me kill off some dogs, even though he shouted his hog killing time. But yeah, the thought was there. But if I'm honest, I don't really trust him. I feel like he's basically just been used by Mr. House as recon and passing information back. He doesn't benefit anyone. He's just a bit of a snake. So here's the $1 million question. Should you trust him? I don't think you should. In the wasteland, there's things you need in life, and one of them is certainty. With all the snakes in the wasteland, it's better to have someone who's a straight shooter, so you know what their intentions are. People like Easy Pete, or the better companions in the game. You've got your Sunny Smiles, Cass, and Veronica. I know I'm a gooner, I'm gooning a bit, but they're straight shooters, you know exactly what you're going to get. And also, it's better to have a companion on your side that you can kill with your bare hands. I don't think if it came to it, you could realistically take out someone like Victor. But someone like Cass, get a good grip on her, yeah, she's done for. And that's what I'm talking about in the wasteland. It's better to have companions you can kill than be killed by. You won't see me walking around with people like Strong. No way. What's the point? One bad trip, one bad shot, one mood swing, you're dead. So, in reality, if this is a real life situation, Victor is a no from me. And that's why you clicked on this video, to find out whether or not you should trust him. Yeah, don't. Well, we've covered his lore in the game, so let's just go over a little bit of the new lore from the TV show. In 2296, similar to the sort of time frame of New Vegas, the Ghoul made his way to the Gulf Camp, which is a NCR base. This used to be Mr. House's little holiday home. This is abandoned, and the only thing in there is a couple of old computers and Victor, who thinks he is a vending machine at this point. So something's gone wrong with circuitry, and he's a little bit scatty. In the house resort, he is apparently deactivated, but upon seeing the Ghoul, they kind of recognise each other. And it was a sort of a weird interaction where they were looking at each other, not really giving each other the right information, and you could tell, even though that Victor was on death's door or he's been inactive for a long period of time, he was still holding back necessary information. But the Ghoul was too, so they're kind of doing good cop, bad cop, robot cop, crusty skinned man. He asked about the whereabouts of the NCR. Victor claimed he has not seen them, however, I'm pretty sure he has. Once the Ghoul asked about Robert House, believing that he had made plans to survive again after the bombs had dropped, Victor says that he has gone. Victor said, Mr. House is gone. He didn't say dead, he said gone. And we all know what that means. He was just waiting in his little computer system to bust out and go mad once he had the cold fusion technology. I think this is the point where the Ghoul realised what's going on with Mr. House, so he decided at that point that he might need to reactivate him at some point to try and get the location of his family, because he knows everything. Isn't that right, old chum? At the end of the interaction, Victor states that there's no one around anymore except for the rangers up on the hill. So he does know where the NCR is, so he lied about his first question. His character was quite good. I loved him in the TV show, but he still has that devious nature you can't really trust. But you can't trust the Ghoul either, really. So it's safe to say, in the game or in the TV show, he's not really trustworthy. But I don't blame him. It's not his fault. That was the way he was programmed. I don't think he is, as sentient as Yes Man. But still, we all know the best Securitron in the game is Muggy. Yeah, let's hear a little bit from Muggy, and then we're done.
You! Hey, you! Yeah, you! Got any mugs? What do you want, mugs, huh? You some kind of sick mug hoarder? Oh, God, give me the coffee, God, please! It's sitting there in your back taunting me!